Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So this one is for the NB4 Plus, but only the EN American version. EU version of this firmware is not available yet, basically because of the other languages they've got to do it in. But the update process will be the same. So let's bring in for a closer look and look at the new 1017 firmware. I believe this one is for the NB4 Plus, and this is again to enable the new receiver and the new data logger, and we'll see if there's any other fixes in the change logs. But let's bring in for a close-up look and see how we get on with this one. So first off, we're going to get his transmitter connected to his PC, and for this one I'm using one of the Soarsky bases. All these grips and the alloy covers, they're all from Soarsky as well, and it just lets me get the USB out the other side, and it just makes it easier to place the transmitter, so it's easier for you guys to see. I do have the original base, but these make it a little bit awkward with these protectors on it to plug the USB-C in. That does need milling out a bit, but we've still got alarm on that. So the first thing we're going to want to do is open a web browser and go to flysky-cn.com. Again, I'll leave the links in description for the video. Then we're going to want to go to products. I'm going to want to go surfaces, and then NB4 Plus, and then downloads and upgrades. And then as we scroll down, we can see the EU version is still 1012. The EN version is 1017. This is the new version released on the 28th of August. And if you see, we've got the FCC version, which is the higher TX power, lower battery life, and again standard version, which is lower TX power but longer battery life. Release notes for the NB4 Plus. So let's have a look what we've got. See if we can zoom in a little. And I know it's not ideal trying to read this on the screen. So we've got added lamp feature, same as the NB4. Added support for the telemetry adapter. On this one we've got modified stick calibration by adding a midpoint calibration value, so that's different. Modified the auto power off function. Customizable timings, so that again is different. Added gear ratio settings for speed sensor and distance sensor, so that's the same as the NB4. Modified assign function to the TR2 forward and back trim, default to none, so that's the same as what they've changed on the NB4. For TR2 left and right trim, defaulting to brake ratio. For TR1 left and right trim, defaulting to steering ratio. So that's definitely new. Modified throttle start timer function with assignable button to toggle the throttle start timer on off. Modified the name function by adding flywheel, mechanical brake, headlight, spotlights, retractor. So yeah, few more changes there. Modified failsafe function with one of the options changed from, where's that gone? Changed from free to channel with no value, channel value to no output. It does make more sense. Modified the low power mode function to remain disabled during two-way communication. Optimized other issues. Again, it does tell you if you've got backups from older versions of Flysky Assistant, they don't work on the newer one, and to calibrate the transmitter after you've done the update. Also, transmitter will need to be rebound to your receivers after the update. So we've got all that. For me, I'm going to download the standard version. We've got Assistant for both Windows and Mac at the bottom. So I'm going to download the standard version. So on mine, I've got an Assistant v3 folder on the desktop. I've got an NB4 Plus folder within that. So I'm just going to save the update to that. Once we've got that update saved, we can then open our Assistant. It'll detect our transmitter. We can click on as transmitter. We can go export. We can load as model memories. You can click one at a time to back them up, or you can just click all. If you click next, you'll see the rest of them. These have got 5 extra ones over the original NB4. So once the ones that you want are ticked, we can click export. Again, I'm going to go back to my desktop, Assistant V3. I'm going to scroll down to my NB4plus folder and I'm going to click save. So this will go through and make the backups. Strangely, it seems slower on this with a USB-C cable than it does on the NB4. Which is definitely strange. You would think USB-C higher data transfer would be faster, but it seems noticeably slower on the new transmitters with the USB-C using this backup through Assistant. Basically, by the time this gets to like 40%, the NB4's already finished, 100% backed up, all its model memories. So yeah, whether these are just a lot bigger or for some reason the bigger memory chip's slower in these transmitters, not really sure. Or something weird's going on with the way Flysky's using the USB-C protocol. But it doesn't take too long, and to have all your memories backed up safe, it's definitely worth doing, and I highly recommend anybody doing this. It's definitely something you need to get into the habit of doing. If your transmitter gets completely destroyed, you've got a full backup of all your models. If you want to set another transmitter up, if you've got a whole load of RC cars and your friend's got the same sort of setup, you can swap model memories between each other. So it is really useful. So once that's done, you'll get a success message. You can go in here, you can click update, and you can see all the updates that are available. I highly recommend do not do this. So we're going to close Assistant, we're going to come to the transmitter, we're going to go into System, we're going to scroll all the way down, we're going to go to Firmware Update, we're going to click Yes. You'll hear Windows make the USB sound that it's detected it. You'll get your transmitter back on. We're now going to open File Explorer. We're going to go to Desktop, Assistant V3, NB4plus folder. And then we're going to click on the update. So we can double click as update. You will get a warning from Windows if you're on the later version. You can click more info and then run anyway. It'll detect our software. So we can see software version on the transmitter at the minute is 1012. You can see the new firmware is 1017. Hardware version 1.1. So we can click update and it'll go through doing its update. Now there's a number of reasons why you would much rather use this than Assistant. If Assistant crashes or anything, although the newer version of Assistant has been a lot more solid for me, I'm still getting people on a weekly basis, sometimes daily, contacting me saying, I've tried doing my update through Assistant and it's stuck at 50%, 60%, 30% and it bricks the transmitter. Or sometimes they look at and they manage to back out of the update and hold power and restart the transmitter and then they can use the software updater. But yeah, please use the software updater. I've yet to have a single issue or failure with the software updaters. They just work. A big plus as well, if you'd managed to do the update through Assistant, it's gonna take on a USB-C transmitter like the NB4 Plus or Pro Plus. You're gonna be looking at somewhere between sort of 13 and 20 minutes to do an update. Whereas this takes more like 2 or 3 minutes. And at the minute, with programming Flash, we're already at 47, 48%. And as with any kind of firmware or BIOS updating, the quicker you can get this process done, the less time there is of any issue to occur, like a power cut. I do strongly advise doing firmware updates from either mobile devices like this, which is a full Windows tablet but it's got its own battery, or a laptop, and make sure they're also plugged into mains. That way you've got the main supply, so you shouldn't get a power outage, but you've also got the built-in battery of the device. And because this only takes 2 or 3 minutes to do the update, it's not going to flatten the battery in the time that the power's out. You're going to get the update done and it's going to be safe for you. So we're now at 58%. So it's going through pretty quick. This little device, I keep getting asked what it is. It's a Lenovo Legion Go. Cracking little handheld gaming device, but also full Windows 11 PC. And for the RC world, this thing is absolutely fantastic. You've got a USB-C port at the bottom and at the top, so you can have it on charge and still have a port. I also run a little dongle that gives me 2 USB-A ports and 2 USB-C ports, and also a power delivery port in, so it can charge everything and power everything at the same time. Does work incredibly well. I've got a 100-watt power supply, what I run it off, and I use these cables with the little amp meters on them, so they work really well. The little power meter, so it'll read the wattage and tell you if it's in power delivery mode. At the minute, to power this device and charge the transmitter, it's only using 32 to 36 watt, but it does work really well. Not get any issues with it. There's no weird compatibility with it so far to what I've found. And I have used it for programming servos, programming all the Flysky transmitters. Pretty sure I've used it for programming the Mini Z as well, with the little USB programmer. And the sound box that I've got in the crawler. And up to now it just works with everything. It is on latest version of Windows 11 as well. But we're now at 79%. So as you see, compared to the 20 minutes or so it takes to do it in Assistant, this way is so much quicker. I think it does get to like the high 80% and then it sort of jumps to finished. We're currently at 82. I do like to do these in real time. Feel free to skip through any of these. I do my best to get it to record the screen, but digital cameras and screens, they don't play nice together. But also I talk you through it so you don't really need to see what's on screen. It's not that important. So it got to 92%, said verifying flash, and then it's finished. So we can now close this. We don't need that open anymore. So on the actual transmitter it says failsafe not set. Do you want to set it? I'm going to click no. It does look like it's totally reset the model memories, so we are going to have to restore them. The first thing I would do on the transmitter is go to system, scroll down, stick calibration, click yes. So we can calibrate it.
Calibration successful.
We get calibration successful. Then we're going to open Assistant. It'll detect as transmitter. We can click into it. We can click import, load model file. So again for this one I'm going to go to my desktop, Assistant V3, NB4plus, click on the backup file we made. You can see all the memories that you've got. Click import. And again on this, you can click one or two at a time. You can then click on them and you can change the order. You can click reset and it'll put them all back. Or you can just click all and then add. And you can have them all on here. You can click them and you can move them around. We just press OK. It'll go to the next screen and start restoring those model memories for us. Now again, as I said when we were backing them up, for some reason the NB4 and the transmitters with the micro USB seem way quicker at restoring them. The USB-C transmitters just seem a lot slower at doing the restoring data. And I'm pretty sure I did find this using HTX as well. The USB-C transmitters seem quite slow, which is a bit strange. But it's not a huge problem, and it's not a long time to wait to have all your memories backed up. We're currently at 75% already, so it's not going to take too long. So again, assistant's gone through with no crashes or anything. It is reading as transmitters on 1017. So we can now close that. We've got our transmitter and we've got it back on as normal models. So let's just sanity check it and make sure it will bind to an RC. So let's get us a little TTO2 with us FGR4S. And let's plug in a battery. So we've got it in bind mode. Let's jump in, RX set, bind set, classic, start bind. So yep, it's bound. We've got steering, but it needs reversing for this model. But we've got reverse, forward. So we've got forward, brake and reverse, everything's working. So yeah, we got no weirdness happening. No steering missing or anything like that we've had with previous firmwares, and now it should be compatible with the new receivers and the new telemetry data logger. But let's wrap this one up. So there we have it, the NB4 Plus on the latest 1017 firmware. We've not got any issues. The model memories back up and restore perfectly fine. Calibration runs through fine. We've got a few alterations and fixes. It's now compatible with the new INR8 8D and the FSI-BTA01 data logger. So we've got both them to work through. As I say, at the moment of making this video, so we are on the 31st of August, there is still no EU firmware for this transmitter or the NB4 Pro. There is the EN versions. There's nothing available as yet for the NB4 Pro Plus. So if you're wanting to use any of the new data logger or the new receiver, any of the EU versions of the transmitters you can't currently do, and the NB4 Pro Plus EN and EU you currently can't do at this time. I will do a video and let you know when them updates are out. The process will be exactly the same as this. You'll just have to choose the EU one instead of the EN. But yeah, that's nice and successful. No weird issues, and nice to see that we've got new firmware and a few new features added and a few bug fixes. But thanks again for watching WTF Rc Cars. Hopefully you find this useful, entertaining, a bit of both. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.